But
someone turns around.
are we in your way?
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Hey, Tom.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 2019 Shelby Township Business Awards. My name is Kelly Kasuda. I'll be your MC this morning. I'm the host of Shelby TV's show, Living in Shelby Township. This is a very special morning where we join our partners, the Sterling Heights Regional Chamber of Commerce, to recognize a handful of truly exceptional businesses in Shelby Township and the entire business community. This year, we have award winners as varied as a neighborhood church that moved from a space in Shelby Junior High into a redeveloped grocery store, to a multinational advanced manufacturing firm that now employs more than 800 workers. And I think you might know which one that is. Today's program is a testament to the variety and vibrancy of the Shelby Township business community. And who better to get us started than the president of the Sterling Heights Regional Chamber of Commerce, Melanie Davis.
Good morning. We're so glad you could join us today to honor some of the best examples of corporate citizenship in Shelby Township. We are so very fortunate to have these businesses in our community. And we're also fortunate to have the tremendous support of Shelby Township. This community has some of the finest individuals at the helm. Our distinguished elected leadership, including Township Supervisor Rick Stathakis, Township Clerk Stan Grott, Treasurer Michael Flynn, and the amazing leadership on the Township Board of Trustees, Lisa Casali, John Vermeulen, Vince Viviano, and Lynn Wilhelm. Let's give them all a round of applause. We also enjoyed the tremendous support of Deputy Supervisor Chelsea Oland, Community Relations Director Brad Bates, and all of the Shelby TV folks that we have here today, Art Schink, Nick Monticelli, our MC today, Kelly Kasuda. The list simply goes on and on. So again, just give them another round of applause. These guys have been great. They're tremendous support to us at the chamber. And of course, we also enjoy the support of some of the county's and state's finest elected leadership as well. Today, we have with us Macomb County Deputy Executive John Paul Rea. You can wave your hand. We also have Kevin Ritt from Senator Gary Peters' office. Don Brown from Congressman Paul Mitchell's office. I think we were going to have Ken Goik from Macomb County Public Works, Commissioner Candace Miller's office. And State Representative Doug Wozniak. Thank you all so very much for your support. And thank you to our board, staff, and generous sponsors without whom events like these would just not be possible. Our board members with us here today are our board chair, Angie Lohman, David Barron, Dan Felstow, Dr. Christine Johns, Doug Kelly, Tony Licata over here behind the lens, and Jeff Vollmer. They're all over here at this table, so wave and say hi. Thank you very much for your support. Lastly, just like today's awardees, our sponsors are true examples of what good corporate citizenship looks like, and we'd like to thank them for their support as well. We have Henry Ford Macomb Hospital, First State Bank, Anderson, Eckstein and Westrick, Oxium, Comcast, Fazal Khan and Associates, ITC Holdings, Kirk Huth Lang and Badalamenti PLC, Regency at Shelby Township, plus today's media sponsor, the Macomb Daily. We always encourage you to patronize these businesses in the future, and we thank all of our sponsors today. Let's give them all a round of applause. And we wanted to give a very special shout out and thank you to today's presenting sponsor, Henry Ford Macomb Hospital. Here today to give brief remarks on behalf of Henry Ford Macomb Hospital is the Manager of Community Relations, Greg Jacob, and Brenda Zalka, who is the Manager of Employee Assistance and Wellness. Welcome to the stage, guys.
Good morning, everyone. Where do I get one of those rock star mics? Those are very cool. Well, good morning. First, I want to say and send greetings from our CEO, Barbara Rossman, who could not be here today. She had a schedule conflict. It's been Henry Ford's privilege to serve Macomb County's healthcare needs since the mid-2000s. That's when we first affiliated with St. Joe Hospital in Clinton Township and Mount Clemens. And since then, we've expanded to outpatient centers in Shelby, Bruce, Washington, and Chesterfield Townships, Fraser, and Richmond. And each year we provide over 60,000 urgent care visits, 69,000 emergency visits, and over 21,000 inpatient discharges. But that's not all we do to keep Macomb County healthy. We also bring customized health and wellness services to employees. And as business leaders, you know that having a healthy, productive workforce is one of the most valuable assets you can have. So to tell you more about our employee wellness program called Enhance, please welcome Brenda Zalka.
Thank you. This place is amazing, isn't it? I'm thinking I might want to work here. If you haven't used the restrooms yet, when you do use the restrooms, just behind there is a beautiful gym, so you could come here and work out a little bit before you start your day. So when we think about employee wellness and employee assistance, these are the kinds of organizations that we can be most helpful for. But I wanted to use my couple of minutes this morning to, first of all, say Happy St. Patrick's Day. Those of you who know me as Brenda Zalka, but that is not my birth name. My birth name is Brenda Clancy. Clancy being a good, solid Irish name. So I grew up in a very Irish family, one who believed in lucky and being lucky. And I do believe that I'm a lucky person. But I also believe the foundation of luck comes from having a positive attitude and being grateful and thankful for all that we have in our lives. So I wanted to offer you some luck of the Irish today by taking a moment to, if you could, I'd like you to think of a clover. And a clover has 3 unique petals to it, each of those petals connected to the greater plant. And when you think of each of those 3 sections, I'd like you to pause for a moment, maybe relax into your seat and do a shoulder shrug or a neck stretch and clear your mind. And I want you to think about the 3 things that you have in your life that you feel most lucky to have, most grateful for. And I'm going to give you just 15 seconds to think about that this morning. For me, those 3 things are: first, my family and my friends; second, my health; and third, my career and the opportunities that I have within Henry Ford Health System to help business communities, patients, and all that we do. I feel grateful, very, very grateful to work for an organization that truly values also 3 things. Henry Ford values our patients and their families. Henry Ford values our employees and their families. And Henry Ford values the business community. So as Greg said, not only do we offer top-notch health care, we also offer a variety of services that can help your employees with their well-being and their wellness. So we welcome opportunities to talk to you about our employee assistance program and our wellness programs and all that we do. So please reach out to us if you would like to explore that further. And I ask you to hold on to those 3 things that you thought about tightly. Keep them close to your heart and remember that they're very important and valuable. And I want to leave this morning with a quick Irish blessing. May the sun shine all day long, everything go right, and nothing go wrong. May those you love bring love back to you, and may all the wishes you wish come true. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, we can't talk about the amazing advancements in our business community without hearing from a leader who's helped us get here. Please welcome to the stage Shelby Township Supervisor Rick Stathakis.
Well, Kelly, thank you very much. But, you know, here in Shelby Township, it's the Board of Trustees. There are 7 of us. that we're a great group. We get along great. We don't always agree, but at the end of the day, we come up with a solution for our residents, and that's what makes this township, I think, thrive, and we've had a lot of success. So to the Board of Trustees, to the people I work most closely with, thank you very much for everything you do for this township. And come on up and let's give you guys a hand. Thank you. And you know, the way we're set up in Shelby Township, I think like other local governments, we're a local government. It's really simple what we do. We're a service organization, and we supply services to our residents. That's it. It's short and simple. Our mission is to meet or exceed the expectations of our residents, and we do that with this inverted triangle. We call it the right side up organization, which is very simple. That's really our culture. We are at the very bottom, the Board of Trustees. Somewhere in the middle would be the department heads, and we've got 11 of them. And I would like to recognize them because they're the ones that tell us what they need for the 300 plus employees that are doing all the work, for all the performers. And that's how we establish our buckets. So these people in the middle that do a lot of the heavy lifting, I'm just going to pronounce them by name. Police Chief Bob Schley, Fire Chief Jim Schwinkowski, Assessor Matt Schmidt, Building Director Tim Wood, Community Relations Director Brad Bates. And Brad, you and your organization have just done, your department have done a fantastic job putting this together with the Chamber of Commerce. Thank you very much for that too. And also DPW Director Dave Miller, Financial Manager Ellen McDonald, Human Resource Director Lisa Suda, our Library Director Katie Esther, our Parks and Rec Director Joe Youngblood, Planning and Zoning Glenn Wynn. You guys are super. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you. Go ahead and stand up. Come on. Don't be shy. Thank you very much. And also, there's another part of our team. I call them our core team, and I know they've already been introduced, but I just want to mention by name our attorney Rob Huth and Bob Kirk and Craig Lang. I think you're here. Please stand. They've been with us since the beginning of the time, and we rely on them day in and day out. You do a great job. Beth Case from BPI, Steve Sapp does all of our insurance work, and Fazil Khan and Associates. You guys are a great group. Thank you very much for your support. And finally, I want to introduce my special guest. Mark Hackle will be here sometime. He's at WJR at the studio doing something. I think his wife is doing an interview, and he's doing a little dance of some kind. Or maybe I should reverse that. Maybe his wife's doing the dance. I'm not sure. But anyway, he will be here, and he's coming from Detroit, so hopefully that'll work out real soon. Also, we've got Dr. Christine Johns. Been working with her now for 10 years, our Board of Trustees. She's done a magnificent job. And how do I know that? Well, I know that it's the second biggest school district in Michigan. I also know that academically, our kids always finish at or near the top. This is a whole state. And by the way, she told me this morning, actually, there are 6 local governments that she represents. Shelby Township is not the only one, which I knew, but I didn't know it was 6. But here's something that's really important. Here's why I know she's doing a fantastic job, despite, you know, some budget deficiencies. I know that state funding comes down a little bit every year. And despite all of that, every year you always balance the budget, and we appreciate that. But in case you don't know, a couple days ago, niche.com, NITCHE.com, announced Shelby Township for the second year in a row as being the best community in Macomb Township to live in for family. And the reason I want to mention that now is because the rating of our schools is a big part of niche.com rating. So, Dr. Johns, thank you very much. Stand up. Thank you very much for your leadership. Next guest is Mr. Eugene D'Agostini. Can't say enough about him. When you get out of here and you make your left-hand turn, all these new buildings, there's 8 or 9 of them you'll see. They have all been built in the last 8 years, 7 or 8 years. And because Gene D'Agostini had a vision, he bought all this property, I believe it was sometime in 2009, somewhere around there. And he had a vision. And he went to the state, he went to the county, and he came to Shelby Township. And somehow he got us all working together, his vision, was to bring manufacturing, high-tech jobs to Shelby Township, and you did it. And we really appreciate you, not only because of what you've done for Shelby Township, but really what you've done for the county, and also, more importantly, what you've done for 1,500 people who might not have the jobs I have today. Mr. Stathakis, thank you very much. And by the way, we have entered you. The Macomb County Awards are going to be coming up, so we did enter your name. And unless they're rigged, you should win. So, no, I'm kidding. If Mark was here, I would put him on a spot, but those decisions have not been made yet. So I'm looking forward to that, and Shelby Township will be at a table somewhere behind you. Thank you all for what you've done. Also, I've got Steve Mancini, who is the owner of Rickman, trying to get him to move to Shelby Township. He's got a very nice he's got a very nice company in Sterling Heights, but he wants to do a pretty significant expansion, and he's thinking about moving his headquarters. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I do have you at my table for a reason, and hopefully you'll be making a right decision. And if you have any questions, our board of trustees, we can answer anything you want. So we will definitely be rolling out the red carpet. But we appreciate a lot of the services that you've given us as well. And Steve, I know you employ a lot of people from Shelby Township. Thank you for everything. Thank you. And also Tom Fisher, Pastor Tom Fisher, thank you for just being a good friend and being here for events like this. My wife couldn't be here this morning. She had planned on being here, but she had some emergency at school, and she's attending to that. But my daughter Rachel is here. And by the way, Rachel, tell Mom that I'm not doing these introductions in order of an importance. I just kind of thought about that. But anyway, Rachel, thank you. I know you just came in from Milwaukee yesterday, and it's going to be nice having you home for the weekend. So thank you very much. And I can't say enough about Sterling Heights Regional Chamber Director and of Commerce Director, and also your whole Chamber of Commerce, Melanie Davis. This is a fantastic event that you've put together. Thank you very much for working together with Shelby Township and getting this done. Thank you. And for all the business connections that you make too. We appreciate that. So let's talk about 2018, because 2018 for Shelby Township business community was fantastic. And it was also great for the more than 75,000 residents that depend on our local small businesses to help make this township a better place. In fact, it was such a great place and a great year for our local small business community that 4 of today's 5 award-winning businesses opened their doors just last year in 2018. And our most tenured award winner, Lettuce, opened their doors just 2 years ago. Now last year, Shelby Township saw 135 new businesses open their doors, with 49 new businesses opening in our Downtown Development Authority corridor on Van Dyke Avenue. Small businesses are the backbone of a growing, vibrant economy. And I want to thank these entrepreneurs for believing in Shelby Township and for choosing our community to grow their businesses and dreams. And in addition to our main commercial corridor on Van Dyke, we also saw tremendous small business growth. Along 23 Mile Road, between the M53 Expressway and Hayes, we welcomed 13 new businesses on this nearly 2-mile stretch roadway. And we also saw a renewed interest in many of our neighborhood shopping centers. For example, at 25 and DeQuinder, as you can see here, we opened a $2 million, 40,000 square foot remodeling project is what happened here at Kroger that you're seeing on the screen. And there were new businesses just that opened up just across the street. So these centers serve as neighborhood service hubs and gathering places, and they're good for families and friends, and that's what we like. They tie our community together, and they create vibrant neighborhoods throughout our 36 square mile township. And small businesses played no small part in what was a tremendous year for commercial growth in our township. In total, there were more than $66 million worth of new commercial development in 2018. And paired with other investments and redevelopments in commercial properties, Shelby Township saw more than $103 million invested in its commercial properties, and this is just last year. Now, While the majority of investment came from new construction, we're also seeing property owners reinvest in what they have. A major benefit of this can be seen in the successful blight removal program instituted by Township's planning and zoning building departments. In the growing blight program, our economic development professionals work with property owners to address areas of need, and then they guide the private sector through the redevelopment process. Now, I know this sounds like a lot of government red tape, but not so fast. Here are some successes that we've enjoyed, and this is in the last year and a half. Remember that ugly corner on 22 Mile and Van Dyke? Well, now it's a brand new Circle K gas station. And remember the old Big Boy restaurant at 21 in Van Dyke? Well, now it's a brand new, fully occupied shopping center with no bats and no rats. And remember that vacant former archery center at the corner of Auburn and Ryan Roads? Well, now it's a brand new shopping center. And thanks to the work and leadership of Planning Director Glenn Wynn and Building Director Tim Wood, these former eyesores are now places where people can meet, can work, and create commerce. And also, it wasn't just a commercial sector that saw the growth in 2018. We marked another year with more than 150 permits issued for new single-family homes with a total property value of $60 million. And the industrial sector continues its growth with more than $18 million in new construction. In total, in 2018, Shelby Township saw more than $250 million in development, which generated more than $1.6 million in revenue for the township through permit fees alone. But we cannot put a dollar amount on this alone. It's the significance of growth that plays in our community. These new businesses have brought to Shelby Township new jobs and new wealth to our residents. And a new growth is a big factor in guaranteeing that we, our board of trustees, our department heads, and all 325 of our employees are able to keep our pledge to our residents, and that is no new township taxes, pay all infrastructure investments with cash, no bonding, no borrowing, and most importantly, to continue to meet or exceed the needs of our residents. That is the bottom line. We are a service organization, and because of this new growth, we've been able to do that. So, thank you to all new small business. In fact, thank you to all businesses who have decided to do business in Shelby Township. And as you look around here, isn't it great that these manufacturing jobs, good jobs, like Antolin Shelby, 700 of them are coming back to America. And what's really great, Eugene, thank you very much, they're coming back to Shelby Township. So, you are the big reason, all businesses, you are the big reason why Shelby Township continues to be a great place to live, to learn, to play, and to do business. Thank you very much for listening.
Now it's time for the awards, what y'all came for. There's 5 awardees this morning, all of which are represented here today. First, we'll introduce your business, then we'll watch a quick video, and then you're welcome to come on stage and accept your award. And if you'd like, address your crowd. Now, because you all don't have these really cool rock star mics, which you don't want them, there's tape, there's wires, it's a mess. You have to get very, very close to the microphone, okay? Practically speak right into it, okay? And in addition to the awards, the winners will walk away with a gift from First State Bank, a state tribute from State Representative Doug Wozniak, and a county tribute from Commissioner Don Brown. Let's get started. Our first awardee is the Mission Church, where the pastor says their new space in Shelby Township was answer to many prayers. They took over a vacant grocery store and invested nearly $700,000 into the space. They were at Shelby Junior High, but now the Mission Church calls 24 Mile and Shelby home.
You have changed mindsets and heart sets from I'm not worthy to I'm a beloved son or daughter of God, and you will do it again.
We really want people, when they come on a Sunday, we say we don't want you to just go to church. We want you to really experience and encounter God. So what you have here is the old floor. It's a tile floor. Back when it was a grocery store, tore out all the tile. We are inside a former Farmer Jack that was closed down in 1999, and it has been converted as of 2018 into a church called The Mission. Kelly and I got married in 2004, and we bought a home off a 24-mile road right between Shelby Road and DeQuinder. And in the summertime, we love walking up to the 7-Eleven at the corner of 24 and Shelby, and we saw this sign out front where this is a building for lease. And we started doing actually prayer walks, and we prayed this prayer. We said, God, that someday if you would call us to plant a church, would you give us a building like this one? At the time, we just thought it was a symbol, and it turned out to be reality. When we bought the building, it's 27,000 square feet. We built out the first 12,000 square feet, and then we have another 15,000 on the other side of the wall here that is our expansion plan. We're calling phase 2. And so our goal for phase 2 is to have it be an outreach for the community, to do things like food pantry, clothes closet, to help kids who have a free reduced lunch during the week to be able to feed them over the weekends so they have a full stomach. And just any other ways, any other partnerships that God may have, that it's not about us and our territory, it's about the kingdom of God. Imagine what your life would look like if you resolved to only think about things that would pass through the grid of Philippians 4:8. What's interesting is our congregation is not the biggest one in Macomb County by far, but the people who come to the church, there are plenty of folks who come up and down 24 Mile, 23 Shelby Mound Road in Shelby Township, where we live ourselves and where our church is located. But what's interesting about the church is we have people driving in from Marine City and Almont and St. Clair Shores and everywhere in between. We are incredibly excited in everything that's going on. People coming here, truly encountering God, experiencing God, having a chance to grow in their faith. We want people to come and just to investigate, to explore, and to grow as people as they want to.
We are proud to recognize the Mission Church as the winner of the 2019 Shelby Township Business Awards Community Redevelopment Award. Come on up.
She asked me, would you like to say a few words? I'm like, I'm a preacher. Of course I have a few words to say. Honestly, thank you so much, Rick, and to the township for honoring us with this award for community redevelopment. As you saw on the video, and Nick, you did an incredible job. Thank you so much, honestly, for capturing just some of what's going on at our church. As you saw in the video, Kelly and I have lived in Shelby Township for 15 years. And believe it or not, we actually were doing prayer walks around that building since back in 2006, praying that one day it would be a church. And I wanted to take this opportunity to thank some of the people who made it possible for us to be here today. Going back to our days as a portable church, thank you to Dr. Johns, to the Utica Schools for opening up the junior high at Shelby Junior High, allowing us to meet there as a portable church. I appreciate that, honestly. Thank you to Mary Pahutsky and her family for agreeing to sell us that property. Thank you for the business neighbors that we share that corner with, from CrossFit to Mark Douglas to Great Lakes Ace to Eat Italiana. Thank you to Bert and Mark and Wayne and Mike and Gary for being incredibly welcoming us to that property. Thanks to the officials of Shelby Township like Tim Wood, Glenn Wynn, Steve Henyon, for working with us in rezoning the building and getting it approved to be used for church use. When it comes to our volunteers, I want to give a very special thank you to Dave and Chris Carlson, who gave 2 years of their lives as volunteers to get us into that building. And there's too many people to name who volunteered for hundreds and hundreds of hours in the summer of 2018 to help doing the demo, taking the Farmer Jack, and just tearing out everything from the inside. And even our volunteers spent hundreds of hours helping with the build out itself. I love our volunteers, I love our church family. And we would love to invite you to experience some of what we experience at the Mission Church. At your tables, there's an invite card. Our church service is at 10:30 on Sundays at the corner of 24 Mile and Shelby Road. And as you saw in the video, we like to say that when you come, we hope you don't just go to church, but that you encounter God, you experience His goodness, you experience His love. One more thing. When we bought the building, we talked to Mary Pohutsky, and we told her that our dream is that we would have such a good connection and reputation in the community that people who don't even attend our church would be thankful that we're here. And that was not just a line to convince her to sell the building. We mean it. We would love to connect more into the community of Shelby Township, to be a blessing to it with no strings attached. And so if you are part of an organization today that could help us do that, that we could partner with you, we would love to talk with you. We would love to connect with you at the Mission Church. Thank you so much.
Anyway, we have some very tough ordinances in Shelby Township. I've been here for 10 years. I think it's the first thank you we got for Tim Wood.
All right, let's move on. They've got wraps, smoothies, salads, and more, all for lunch on the run without that guilt of fast food. And that alone, in my book, deserves all the awards. Lettuce took over a vacant 2,000 square foot storefront at the corner of 24 Mile and Van Dyke Avenue. And its customer service and friendly, welcoming environment is what's making Lettuce a huge success.
Thank you for calling Lettuce. Tanya speaking. How can I help you? I've grown up in the restaurant industry, so it's like in my blood. I know nothing else but to be in the restaurant business.
You know, we tried figuring out something that we thought the area needed.
Had an idea, went with it, opened the doors, did no advertising, and from day one it just kind of took off.
I worked in Troy for many years, and we had many conversations on my way home. Hey, grab something on the way home, and you know, I'd see burger, pizza, and we were like, and I would always kind of look at this spot.
We were more focused on like the freshness, the salads, you know, everybody just coming in and it being a fast alternative. So after working it for almost 2 years now, we've come to realize that it's more of like a lunch spot. So, you know, we get that hard push from about 11:30 to about 2 o'clock.
The most popular is, I mean, the salads are all pretty good, but I'd say that people really have enjoyed and like the soups that my wife makes. People have like lost their mind. About 40 to 50 different ones that I do, and I do off-the-wall soups. You know, we do lasagna soup, I do chicken parmesan soup. The other day I had egg roll soup. She comes up with some weird recipes, and people really like them. He calls my soups weird. Okay. Different would be probably a better word.
it's nice hearing all the feedback from all the customers and everybody that comes in has positive things to say, and it just, makes you feel that much better about it.
I think people really appreciate freshness and value for their money.
We focus a lot on customer relations, and I express that with my workers. You got to build that relationship. It's not just here's your salad and go. They're not just a face. They're friends that we like to make, and that's what we like to focus on. I love the feedback from the customers. The positivity that they give me helps me, drives me more.
We are proud to recognize Lettuce with the 2019 Shelby Township Business Award for Emerging Business.
As you can see from the video, I'm not a very good public speaker, but I'd like to thank everybody for all the support from the township and the community, and hopefully we can continue being a favorite place and a good place to come have lunch. Thank you very much.
All right, now let's kick back with a glass of wine, it's never too early, and enjoy impeccably fresh seafood or a melt-in-your-mouth steak. The Detroit Fish House has become a premier spot for fine dining in Shelby Township. Jeff and Cheryl Steinhurst are a husband and wife dynamic duo feeding Shelby Township for the last 8 years with other restaurants like Steiny's, which is now called the Detroit Grill House. Let's check out the new Detroit Fish House, a place for signature dishes, intimate dining, and extraordinary service.
You're at the Detroit Fish House in Shelby Township, just a little bit north of 23 Mile on Shelby. My husband and I live in the area, been here for over 25 years. And anytime we wanted seafood, we'd travel outside of the area. So when this building became open, we decided to open it up. We did 90% of the work you see in our venue. We, ripped up all the floors, we painted, we had the brickwork done, and so we did most of the work that you see in here. My husband designed and worked on all the tables. I mean, we did it from scratch up. So it's got our blood, sweat, and a lot of tears.
The whole goal of restaurants is to be hospitable to you. You come in, give us your money for us to treat you right.
For guests to come out, they can wear suits. We have wedding parties who come here fully dressed, all the way to people in jeans or what have you. It's a very comfortable atmosphere. All the guests' happiness coming in, it's just such a thrill. We have guests from all the way up north to Detroit to all over the state have come in.
We found that a lot of people really are regulars now. Like, it's weird, like they came in once and now they're hooked.
We definitely didn't need another Italian. This has been numerous Italians prior. And we looked into different options, and it was just seafood. There's nothing around.
Overall, honestly, everything is delicious. Like, I actually tell people that when they sit down, they're like, what's good? I'm like, everything, unfortunately, which is a really hard thing to try to sell, when everything's good. We have literally the best service team I've ever worked with in every restaurant I've worked in. And we've built this team on purpose.
Well, I think all awards mean something. They acknowledge what we're doing. It's just a thrill. It's an honor.
I take pride in it because I want to tell people we're an award-winning restaurant. That sounds amazing. Don't you want to go to an award-winning restaurant and have dinner? Because I do.
We are proud to recognize Detroit Fish House as the winner of the 2019 Shelby Township Business Award for hospitality.
Hello. Not good at speaking either. I just wanted to thank the Shelby Township. Very honored. Both of my chefs, stand up and say hello. John Hargraves, Dion. That's why we're here. Without them, my entire team, we wouldn't be here. Thank you.
It's a unique living experience for seniors in Shelby Township, receiving the care of an assisted living facility while in the same residential neighborhood as their children and their grandchildren. Bickford Senior Living has branches throughout the Midwest, but broke ground in Shelby Township in a new facility back in October of 2017. Its home used to be a vacant piece of property formerly owned by Utica Community Schools. Let's take a look at Bickford's contribution to our community.
G49, G49.
I think when families come to us, they are anxious, they're nervous, they have so many emotions going on because they are looking for someplace for their loved one to be. To walk into a place that feels like home gives them that comfort that they're not abandoning their loved one.
It's so small, it's only 60 apartments, so everybody can get attention.
If mom likes to cook, we're going to invite her in the back with the chef and he's going to help her prepare food. If dad loves sports, then we're going to bring a sports person in here to be with him.
There's lots and lots of stuff why this place is the best, because they have the best activity director. This is like a cruise ship. When you're at home, how many activities you do at home other than vacuuming, cleaning, and watching TV? Starting from the morning, we are starting with the exercise, with Tai Chi, with yoga, with the newspapers. In the afternoon, we are playing bingo, we are doing painting, all kinds of stuff, shopping, going out to eat. We have live entertainment. We have everything, just like a cruise ship.
Mary Bickford, who is the seed that started the whole company, was the beloved grandmother. And the family had to seek a place for her when she was starting her journey with Alzheimer's. And they couldn't find one that fit all of their needs, that felt like home when they walked into it. So the family decided to design their own very first Bickford of Kansas City for Mary. I wanted to be one of those people that touched a senior's life, that made a difference. And so I see each of them as part of my family. They are my grandparents who now are gone, that get emotional, that I take care of. And they mean a lot to me. Seniors are forgotten, and when I can see them laugh, when I can see them gathering together and not being lonely. And so when you see them interacting and having fun here and really feeling like it's a larger extension of their family, we're all part of the Bickford family. And to me, that is my life song, to honor residents and serve them.
When I see them, actually, I adore them. They're more than part of the family to me. They're everything to me.
For these reasons, we are proud to present the Bickford of Shelby Township with the 2019 Shelby Township Business Award for Healthcare.
I want to say thank you to the township for this honor for Bickford Senior Living. As Nick made me cry in the video, I watched it and was crying at my table. It is an honor to serve our seniors, to have a place for them to come that feels like home. So I thank you for this honor.
Business is the one that brought 800 new jobs to our community and is our gracious host for today's ceremony. Grupo Antolin made a splash in Shelby Township, opening our largest manufacturing plant back in June of 2018. The plant supplies auto interior parts for the 2019 Ram pickup truck, producing, get this, 1,500 vehicles per day.
Currently, we produce the interior door panels and the headliners. There are certain processes to building the doors and the headliners. The first process is injection molding. So we actually take raw material and we form them into the lower doors. They then get sent to the assembly lines where we put together the mid panels, the uppers, and the lower doors with the mat pocket. We're a 6-day operation, 3 crews. We do 2 crews per day at a 10-hour day each, so we run 20 hours a day. We produce roughly between 1,100 and 1,200 car sets a day. This was one of the biggest programs in Grupo Antolin history, and it was one of the biggest plants that was built in a very short amount of time. So everybody that was a part of it was very excited to be able to launch something like this in a very short amount of time. We were able to launch this program in about a 9-month period from the ground up. It's always about location, so we definitely wanted to be closer to our customer. Whenever you are a JIT supplier, that's just in time, you have to be within about a 15-mile radius. So being that we're here, and Shap is within that 15-mile radius, we did pick Shelby because Shelby's a fantastic township, and we wanted to help contribute to the township and make it better. Well, let me just tell you, when I walk the floor, I get chills every day. Being a part of this, when I started my career 31 years ago, I actually started on the floor as an operator and I moved up through the ranks. So I've done just about every job that's out there. I actually just bought a new 2019 Dodge truck. As a matter of fact, I was just walking through somebody today. I did a tour on the plant floor, and when I was showing them the doors and the headliners, I actually was pointing out the ones that were on my vehicle. So I am very excited about it. And when I did take it home and I did show it to my family and my parents, and I did, I showed them this is what I make, the headliners and the doors, and showed them the whole process of how that is. So now they're very excited to come here and take a tour of the plant to actually see how it's made. Yeah, it's very exciting. I mean, it's just it's the whole pride of being able to be a part of something like this, and then to actually own one, and then be able to show it off and say, hey, I was part of making this vehicle. It's very exciting. Well, the township has been fantastic. Between building the company, building the plant, getting it launched, the trucking, everything else, the township has been very, very supportive for us. everybody here that's part of Group Antolin Shelby is very talented. They go above and beyond what's needed to make sure that we are successful here. It's very exciting for me to be a part of this and to see what we've accomplished.
For these reasons, we are proud to present Antolin Shelby with the 2019 Shelby Township Business Award for Advanced Manufacturing.
All right, good morning and thank you. It's truly an honor to accept this award on behalf of everyone here at Antolin Shelby. We are excited to host this event this year and to be among the other businesses in our community to share in this recognition. As you saw in the video, the development of this facility was a huge undertaking. From the planning stages to groundbreaking to the full production. We accomplished this, what many thought couldn't be done. This facility was built in 9 months, and we hired close to 900 employees to get ready for the 2019 Ram truck launch. I would like to give special thanks to Shelby Township, Rick Stathakis, MEDC, Macomb Community College, Express Employment Service, DeAgostini Companies, Jeff Davey, Joe McCluskey, Group Antolin, and a very special thanks to my team. Without their hard work and dedication, this could not have been possible. So thank you again.
Here representing Antolin Shelby, there's another award this morning coming from Utica Community Schools. Last year, the Coats for Kids coat drive was launched, raising thousands of dollars and thousands of coats for local kids. UCS and Antolin Shelby launched the drive, teaming up with the school district, Shelby Township, Sterling Heights, and the city of Utica. Dr. Johns, I'll ask you to come up now. The drive was so successful, Utica Community Schools wants to thank Antolin Shelby and Joe McCluskey, who was the general manager at the time.
I feel so grateful this morning to be part of Shelby Township. And Rick, thank you for this opportunity. As I listen to all the individuals receiving the business awards this morning, they are all connected in many ways back to the school district and back to our children. And it actually just is so humbling and touches my heart deeply because this community is so committed to one another and to its children. So on behalf of our Board of Education, I am delighted to a special tribute from Utica Community Schools to recognize the employees of Antolin Shelby for initiating a community coat drive, Coats for Kids, which provided direct benefit to thousands of students in need. Through the goodwill of Antolin Shelby, 1,383 new children's coats were collected and distributed to Utica Community Schools. And this really is good stuff. Amen. Local business partners also supported the charitable endeavor, having raised more than $6,000 in monetary donations. Jean DeAgostini Companies, Todd Stamper, Priority Waste, Paul LaFrance, Express Employment Professionals, Laura Shublin, Helping Hands Gifts, and an anonymous donor to the Neighbors and Friends of Sterling Heights. Antolin Shelby's Coats for Kids campaign reflected the spirit of Grupo Antolin's founders and their commitment to support the communities of the 25 countries across the globe in which they operate. Utica Community Schools proudly recognizes the entire team of Antolin Shelby for their volunteerism and community service to the children of Utica Community Schools in Macomb County, Michigan. In its special tribute, that this document is signed and dedicated to Antolin Shelby in honor of their service to the community on this day, the 15th of March, 2019. Very special friend, and I must say also a graduate of the Utica Community Schools from Eisenhower High School. Reverend, you said a few minutes ago that God asked us on the seventh day to continue working, and I must say, in working with Joe McCloskey and his team, it was surely the seventh day, but I actually think it may have been the eighth day, because when you talk about getting something done, I think I've met a friend, because it wasn't about could we do it or will we do it. It was about let's get it done now for our children. Joe, come on up. It's just an honor. Again, on behalf of our Board of Education, our children, our teachers, and our entire community, thank you so much for your commitment, not just to the business here at Antolin, but also to the children of Utica Community Schools. Again, it warms my heart that you are here in our community, but when you and Rick called me and said, can we do something for the children of Utica Community Schools, I was like, absolutely. And you set this goal, and you said, you didn't tell me what it was, but I know we both had big ideas. And I figured if we raised if we just got a few coats, we'd be doing really well. But the fact of the matter is that we helped Utica Community Schools. In addition, though, we were also able to help a neighboring district too. Again, your leadership, your belief, your passion to say we can do this. Thank you so much, and it's great that you are also an Eisenhower Eagle. Thank you.
Well, Dr. Johns, I can't thank you enough for this great award. I tell you, what a great follow-up. First, it's very honored to be here with everyone in this room and being part of Macomb County and Shelby Township. You know, as Jerry and Grupo Antolin, we take very pride in what we do here and what we do in the community. And it was an honor to watch Jerry and my team win the award for this plant. And you want to talk about not only a community coming together, but all of the people that were part of all of this. And the theme that I keep seeing throughout this whole presentation and the takeaway when we talked about, you know, I'm also Irish, so three-leaf clover is very close to me, and I would have answered the same way that you answered as far as what's important as a family and friends, and the proud opportunity to have a position, and like what we had here and what we pulled through in literally 8 to 9 months. And when my team sat down and we pulled the remarkable with this plant with Gene D'Agostini and other people, it took the community, Tim Woods and other ones, to make all this come together. And we sat down and said, you know, what do we want to do to give back to this community? It was near and dear to my heart. It was near and dear to the Antolin family and my team that supported this. So I accept this award proudly, but the theme of all of this is it takes all of us to get together. Sometimes, you know, you get involved in things and politicians, everything kind of get in the way. I think once you split the seas and you really understand what what makes people successful and things successful, it's all of us working together. So as I ask everybody, I was giving everyone a challenge in any one of my staff meetings, what's the takeaway? The takeaway for my old staff is what we're doing next. Right? We've built this facility. You know, Rick Stathakis kind of joined us last year and teased us we're the largest manufacturing in Shelby Township, but he really was quick to say that also 1 million square foot Amazon came in the local. So, I mean, our task is going to be is what do we do to keep growing this Antolin family? The second thing is giving back to the people that make us successful. And I'm very proud and honored to be an Eisenhower graduate, and I'm proud to be back in Shelby Township. And Dr. Johns, I love the fact when we were in that meeting, and you know, she's a dear friend of mine too now. She's a lot like myself, is we're not going to accept no for an answer. And as I mentioned a minute ago, there's a lot of people say, well, yeah, we can do this, we can't do this, maybe we can do this, and there was no option but being successful. So our next goal is going to be, and the takeaway is what is all of us, not only Shelby Township, Macomb County, is what are we going to do to make this even better yet? I am honored to keep bringing jobs in this community. I'm honored to be part of it all, and I'm honored and very thankful to say that it's purchased a home in Shelby Township. And Rick, and I thank you for being the great leader you are and your whole staff, because we would not be sitting in this, this building if it wasn't for your staff and everyone else part of it, and Gene D'Agostini, and obviously everyone at Grupo Antolin, who I'm very honored to be part of that team. I thank each and every one of you for the opportunity. Thank you.
In addition to the awards, the winners are walking away with a gift from First State Bank, a state tribute from State Representative Doug Wozniak, and a county tribute from Commissioner Don Brown. Now, before we go, it's a privilege to introduce someone who's invested so much into our community and fresh off of an interview, Macomb County Executive Mark Hackle.
Hello, testing. I think you stole Rick's thunder here. He wanted to do the intro. He was coming up here, he was all excited for some reason. Either that or he thought you were introducing him again. How many want to hear Rick speak again? Okay, yeah, not too many. How many want to hear me speak again? Yeah, never mind. I'll make this short, believe me. You know, it's interesting, having an opportunity to come here and talk to the business groups and seeing the awards, and congratulations to all the awardees for the efforts that you've done. But boy, I tell you, you look at this facility and seeing Joe up here talking about it with his passion, the excitement that he had, and let's face it, the reality is this was not here. And in fact, I'll go back 10 years ago. What was going on here within Macomb County was a very trying time that we faced. People were talking about manufacturing no longer existing and saying we need to rethink what we're doing here in Macomb County. But I'm going to tell you, the folks in our planning department, starting with Steve Casson, John Paul, Vicki Rad, and a young lady that works with me as one of my deputy executives, Melissa Roy, said to me as a new county executive, we need to go to Lansing and we need to talk to the governor and have a conversation, because manufacturing is not dead. Now's the time to double down on that, working with our partners in manufacturing, because we have the talented workforce here in Macomb County. Nowhere else in the country can they compete with that. So it's not dead, it's still alive. And so we went to the governor, we had conversations, we talked to those the folks that were within the manufacturing industry. And one of the big things they said is we need to continue to grow the talent. But let's not stop doing what we're doing, because this is what we're all about. Well, I'm going to tell you, this facility being brought here, and Joe was the instrumental person in making that a reality. When he started talking about this, it was almost as if it was somewhat of a dream to our planning department and to the folks in Shelby Township, Rick Stathakis, but it became a reality. And sitting here today and seeing what's going on in the backdrop, some people may say this is kind of an awkward setting because of all the noise. Well, I don't know about you, but I love this noise. I loved hearing that bell and those workers walking off for just that break and then coming back out here, because this wasn't happening 10 years ago. And in Macomb County, it is alive and well. And how do we know that? We just got the national numbers. Counties across the country, as far as the actual growth in manufacturing jobs over the last 2 years, and Macomb County ranked #1 in the nation in job growth in manufacturing. And it had a lot to do with facilities like this and leadership that brought about facilities and saying, you know what, we can do this, we can make it happen. And I'll be honest with you, Dr. Johns and Joe, when you're just up here talking about it, listening to all the awards and all the work that the folks are doing, that is fantastic. But hearing what these companies and what people do as far as giving back, and especially to our children, that is what I think it was the biggest takeaway from me from this particular event here, is the efforts that people have in saying, you know what, no matter how difficult times are or how good times are, Macomb County is one of the most giving counties in the entire country as well, not just #1 in manufacturing jobs. So congratulations to all the awardees and all of your efforts in making Macomb County what it is. And that is #1 in the country. Rick, congratulations, great event, and thank you for inviting me here today. Thank you.
right, well, that about wraps up our business awards.
I think we're done. I don't have
Oh.
Well, nobody can hear me. That's okay. It's probably better that way anyway, right, Mark? I just want to thank everybody for coming today. Thank you so much. I want to especially thank the Chamber of Commerce, the Regional Sterling Heights Chamber of Commerce, for putting this event on. Brad Bates and our department for Brad Bates actually organized all this in his department, and we really do appreciate that very much. Kelly, you're a great host. Thank you for coming back year after year. I think the next big event is our State of Shelby Township sometime in July, so we hope to see you all. And to the Board of Trustees, to the department heads, to all the employees of Shelby Township, thank you very much. Mark, thanks for coming in. Brad, did I leave anybody out? Oh, and thank you for all of you who came in yesterday to set up and do all this equipment that, and Nick Monticelli too, yes, and I've got to thank I'm forgetting a lot of names here. Yeah, Chelsea Oland, my deputy supervisor, who was a big part of this too. Thank you all. We'll see you next year. Bye now.